Have you ever felt like you're always available to others, but when you need support, it seems like there's no one? You feel that everything you do goes wrong. You're afraid you'll never get your soulmate. You don't know how to choose the right woman. Often there are those who seem to value our kindness only when it is useful to them, showing ephemeral gratitude that disappears as soon as they have reached their goals. This pattern of behavior can leave us feeling used and devalued, prompting us to reflect on how and why we set certain boundaries in our interactions. In an attempt to address this problem, I have prepared a series of tips that will help you set healthy limits and stop compromising your emotional well-being to meet the expectations and desires of others. Through these 9 steps, you'll learn how to prioritize your needs and take care of yourself without falling into the trap of selfishness or remorse. It is essential to recognize that taking care of oneself is not an act of self-centeredness, but a fundamental need to maintain a healthy balance in life. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "Trying to be in too many places at once means you're really nowhere." This video is important for you to watch in its entirety and learn what not to do with women. Please follow these steps, and you will find who you truly deserve. Take a seat, grab a paper and pencil, and listen to my advice. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Number 9. Don't humiliate yourself. Do you like to be pitiful? Are you one of those men who tries to look vulnerable? Or do you just talk on the first date about how bad life treats you? Stop doing this, please. In the digital age, where relationships are exhibited and judged on social media, we witness a troubling phenomenon: men humiliating themselves in front of women in search of attention or love. They act like pleading dogs, accepting to be treated with contempt and even ridiculed. This attitude is not only unacceptable, but also reveals a profound lack of self-respect and a weakness of character. But what can modern psychology tell us about behaviors like this? The causes of this behavior can be complex and rooted in low self-esteem, insecurity, and a desperate need for external validation. These men may come from dysfunctional backgrounds where self-esteem was affected, or have experienced emotional trauma that has left them vulnerable to manipulation. The consequences of this attitude are devastating, both for man and for society in general. Well, these are the consequences. 1. Destruction of self-esteem. Public humiliation further erodes a man's self-esteem, creating a vicious cycle of seeking external validation and further humiliation. 2. Damage to male image. These men become negative examples of masculinity, reinforcing harmful stereotypes and damaging the image of other men. 3. Manipulation and abuse. The position of weakness makes them easy prey for manipulative women who take advantage of their desperation to get what they want. Being a good man does not imply humbling oneself or begging for love. True masculinity is based on 4 fundamental pillars. First is courage, facing life's difficulties with courage and determination. Second, justice, treating others with fairness and respect, regardless of their gender or social status. Third, wisdom, seeking knowledge and understanding of the world around us. And 4, temperance, moderate desires and emotions, acting with balance and prudence. True love is not based on emotional dependence, but on freedom and mutual respect. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher, expressed it clearly: "He who depends on another cannot be free." This statement reminds us that we should not lose our individuality and autonomy in a loving relationship. In conclusion, don't try to give pity to find love. Value your self-esteem, cultivate your positive masculinity, and build relationships based on respect and authenticity. Only then will they be able to find true love and a full and meaningful life. Number 8. Don't adapt your life to please her. Do you try to please her in everything, to even get a compliment from her? Modifying your existence to meet the expectations of others is like trying to complete a puzzle with pieces that don't fit. It only generates frustration and confusion. This constant adaptation is comparable to getting lost in a sea of uncertainty, where every attempt at conformity is a step towards the loss of one's identity. As if the philosopher Seneca warned, to be everywhere is to be nowhere. Dispersing your efforts leads you to a state of disorientation and doubt about your direction in life. Instead of camouflaging yourself in the surroundings like a chameleon, it's time to shine with the intensity of a star in the night sky. Proudly embrace your individuality and the qualities that set you apart. Reject the notion that others can dictate the course of your life. It is the precise moment to take command and trace your own path. Keep in mind that your life is a unique story, not someone else's story. Therefore, allow your genuine colors to radiate and decorate the world with your uniqueness and purpose. Now, why do you think I'm telling you this? Imagine two dancers moving gracefully and fluidly on stage, each movement synchronized to the beat of the music. In this dance, the sacrifices in a couple are like the coordinated steps that maintain harmony and connection between them. As with any dance, both partners must commit to giving and receiving in equal measure. Sacrifices in a couple resemble moments when one gives up center stage for the other to shine and vice versa. It is a dance of balance where everyone gives the best of themselves to maintain harmony and connection. However, just like in a dance, if one partner constantly sacrifices without receiving anything in return, the beauty and grace of the relationship can fade. Like unbalanced dancers, the relationship can falter and lose its essence. Therefore, just like in a well-executed dance, the sacrifices in a couple must be reciprocal and balanced to maintain beauty and harmony in each step together. In a relationship, sacrifice is a natural part of love and giving, but it's essential to remember that balance is the key to maintaining a healthy dynamic. Being a good man implies being generous and supportive, but it does not mean giving without limits or conditions. In a healthy relationship, both men and women should contribute equally and receive mutual support. Reciprocity is essential for joint growth and harmony in the couple. It's crucial to communicate openly and honestly with your partner about your needs and expectations. This not only strengthens the emotional bond, but also fosters an environment of trust and mutual understanding. There is no greater freedom than to live authentically, celebrating every aspect that makes you unique. Life is a canvas, and you are the artist. He paints boldly and lives with intention. Every choice you make is a brushstroke that contributes to the masterpiece that is your existence. Don't settle for being a blurry copy of others' expectations. Be the most vibrant and authentic version of yourself. At the end of the day, it's not how much you've adjusted, but how much you've lived on your own terms. So look up, move forward with confidence, and let each step reflect your truest essence. Your life, your story, your path, everything is waiting to be defined by you and only by you. Number 7, don't move away from your family and friends to start a relationship. My friend, if that woman is entering your life, she is a big red flag that wants to rearrange your social circle. Moving away from your friends or family is like letting go of the moorings of a ship that has kept you afloat for so long. Life is a complex fabric of relationships and connections, and in this network, our friends and family take center stage. They are the ones who sustain us in times of adversity and celebrate our victories with us. Moving away from these fundamental relationships in pursuit of a new affinity is comparable to tearing off the branches of a tree that has given us shelter and protection. Every friend and family member is a robust branch that has been there to support us, and if we start to drift apart, we not only lose valuable bonds, but we also weaken that life support system that has been by our side unconditionally. Philosophers have long reflected on the nature of human relationships. Aristotle, for example, considered friendship to be one of the greatest sources of virtue and happiness in a person's life. He said that a friend is an other self, suggesting that in friendship we find a reflection of ourselves and an opportunity for mutual growth. On the other hand, Plato, in his allegory of the soul, compared people to plants. Some can nourish us and allow us to flourish, while others can be like weeds that hinder our development. By isolating ourselves from our loved ones in search of the approval of others, we risk choosing a lonely and difficult path, one that can lead us to wither rather than grow. It is imperative, then, to take the initiative to rekindle and nurture those meaningful relationships. Our friends and family are an irreplaceable support network, a solid foundation, and an invaluable source of strength. It is essential to embrace those loyal companions who have been with us through both good and bad times. As Cicero said, life is nothing without friendship. The relationships we cultivate are the fertile soil in which our lives take root, and from which we can reach for the stars. Therefore, it is wise to nurture those connections, value them, and allow them to enrich us, as they are ultimately the reflection of who we are and what we aspire to be. Number 6, be selective when disclosing important information. Not always telling your crush about your insecurities, money issues, family problems, or personal assets is a tool to build trust in a relationship. Watch what you say. Prudence in the disclosure of personal details is a virtue that has been valued throughout history. As Aristotle rightly pointed out, wisdom is knowing what should be done, the virtue is to do it. In the context of sharing our past, this translates into an exercise in discernment and discretion. It is not imperative to reveal every chapter of our life to every individual we cross our path. Like a captain who sails the seas and decides which maps to display and which to keep, we too must carefully choose which fragments of our personal history are appropriate to share. Indiscriminate sharing can leave us feeling vulnerable and naked in the eyes of the world. There are experiences that are too intimate or traumatic to be exposed to public judgment. It is essential to safeguard our privacy and emotional well-being, protecting those memories that are only for us or to be shared with an intimate and trusted circle. As Descartes said, to improve one's understanding of oneself, once in one's life, one must get rid of all received opinions and reconstruct all systems of knowledge again. This implies that there are aspects of our lives that need to be re-evaluated and possibly kept private. Instead of full disclosure, consider sharing only what is pertinent and beneficial to the current situation or relationship. This allows you to maintain authority over your personal narrative, choosing how and when certain aspects of your life are revealed. Your past is a unique and personal possession, and you have the absolute authority to decide which parts of it are shared and with whom. By being selective and aware of what you reveal, you not only protect your privacy, but also preserve your autonomy and self-respect. In conclusion, the selection of the details of our past that we choose to share is a balancing act between openness and reserve. It must be guided by reflection and respect for oneself and others. As Socrates taught, a life without examination is not worth living, and part of that examination includes deciding which parts of our history deserve to be told and which should remain in the shadows, known only to ourselves or to those we deeply trust. Number 5. Don't overdo it with kindness. In the world of relationships, kindness is an invaluable quality. However, an excess of it can generate misunderstandings and unbalance the couple's dynamic. It's crucial to find a balance between kindness and other essential qualities, like steadfastness and self-respect, to cultivate a healthy and lasting connection. While being kind isn't a problem in and of itself, an excess of kindness can be interpreted as weakness. This can generate a perception of lack of character or even submission, alienating the person we are interested in. The key lies in finding a balance between kindness and other qualities that complement and strengthen the relationship. Firmness, for example, allows us to set clear boundaries and defend our values without renouncing kindness. Self-respect, on the other hand, drives us to value ourselves and not allow kindness to lead us to sacrifice our dignity or needs. Kindness on its own is not enough to maintain a healthy relationship. It is important to complement it with actions that demonstrate genuine interest, respect, and commitment. This can include spending quality time with the couple, listening carefully to their needs, offering emotional support, and working together to achieve common goals. Another aspect that we must also take into account is that firmness and self-respect do not mean being rude or inflexible. It's about setting clear boundaries, standing up for our values, and expressing our opinions assertively without being pushy. By cultivating these qualities, we avoid falling into emotional dependence and build a relationship based on mutual respect and equality. It is important to recognize that the attraction to goodness is a matter of compatibility and mutual recognition of values. A woman who seeks a healthy and balanced relationship will appreciate genuine kindness, accompanied by firmness, self-respect, and other qualities that demonstrate a well-rounded character. In addition, we have heard a lot from our fellow human beings that women do not like good men, but this is a total myth and crumbles under the light of Stoic wisdom. A myth created by failures who did not get what they wanted, and instead of seeking Stoic resilience, they bowed down and began to spread unfair myths. Still, what's really important here is to find someone who values and responds to that kindness with respect, love, and mutual appreciation. The key is to be yourself, a man of courage who cultivates kindness, firmness, and self-respect. By being authentic and genuine, we increase the chances of finding someone who genuinely understands and values our qualities. Kindness is an invaluable virtue in relationships, but it should not be the only or the main quality. Finding a balance between kindness, firmness, and self-respect allows us to cultivate healthy, lasting connections based on authenticity and mutual respect. Remember, being yourself, a man of value, is the key to finding someone who values and appreciates your genuine goodness. Number 4, don't be afraid of loneliness. Don't let the fear of loneliness become the architect of your destiny. Giving in to the fear of loneliness when making decisions is like following the course marked by a broken compass. It leads you down paths of uncertainty and unease. If the fear of loneliness infiltrates your choices, you may find yourself wandering places that don't resonate with your spirit. It is essential to recognize that loneliness is not synonymous with abandonment, but a state of serenity and self-knowledge. Knowing oneself is, as Socrates said, the path to true wisdom. Take time to value your own presence, to understand your desires and aspirations. In this process of introspection, you will discover that when you choose to share your life with someone else, it is not because of the fear of loneliness, but because that person complements and enriches your existence in a significant way. Appreciate moments of solitude, for there is no room for fear to cloud your judgment. Loneliness should not be seen as a threat, but as an invaluable opportunity for personal growth and self-discovery. As Aristotle suggested, happiness depends on ourselves, and part of that happiness lies in the ability to enjoy our own company and make decisions based on trust and authenticity. Learn to embrace solitude as a life partner, a teacher who invites you to go deeper into your being and draw out the inner strength that resides in you. By doing so, you free yourself from the chains of fear and allow yourself to live a life dictated by your own terms, values, and convictions. Cherish every moment of solitary reflection, for it is in those moments that the answers to life's deepest questions are often found. Remember that solitude can be the fertile soil from which creativity, resilience, and clarity sprout. In the silence of your own presence, you can hear the voice of your true self, guiding you toward decisions that reflect your authentic self. Don't let the fear of loneliness throw you off track. Instead, that every step you take is filled with self-knowledge, confidence, and a deep appreciation for the person you are becoming. Don't know how to control loneliness? I invite you to watch my video in which I give tools to even enjoy and take advantage of it. Number 3, don't let yourself be manipulated. The teachings of Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, offer us a valuable lesson about love, the importance of self-discipline. The Stoics firmly believed that true love is not impulsive or selfish, but requires self-control and virtue. Loving someone involves being aware of our own emotions and reactions, and having the ability to manage them appropriately. It is through self-control that we can cultivate strong and lasting relationships. Stoic love is not based on emotional dependence, but on strength of character and the ability to love without losing one's identity. Marcus Aurelius urges us not to be emotionally dependent on others to find happiness. The Stoics advocated emotional self-reliance, which means finding our own inner fulfillment rather than relying on others to feel whole. This does not mean that we should not love or be loved, but that we should remember that our happiness should not depend exclusively on external relationships. From this premise, it is crucial to maintain a standard of respect and dignity in all our relationships, especially those with our partners. One of the mistakes you should never allow in a relationship is contempt or manipulation. If you tolerate being belittled or manipulated by your partner, you are allowing your self-esteem and dignity to be undermined. Even if your feelings for that person are deep and genuine, it's critical to recognize that you deserve to be treated with respect and consideration at all times. Accepting contempt or manipulation in a relationship can only lead to unhappiness and dissatisfaction, undermining the very foundation of a healthy and meaningful connection. If you allow your partner to mistreat you in this way, you're compromising your emotional well-being and self-esteem for someone who doesn't truly value you. It is essential to remember that an authentic and healthy relationship is based on mutual respect and equality. Respect is a demonstration of genuine and authentic appreciation for you, while contempt or manipulation indicates insincerity on the part of your partner and is not worth your time or affection. Lowering your standards for it is a decision that can compromise your quality of life. The most crucial determination you need to make in any relationship is to make sure that you are with someone who values you and treats you with love and respect. Therefore, avoid being in a relationship with a low-quality woman. It is vital to understand that the quality of a relationship is not limited solely to the person's outward appearance or popularity. The fundamental thing lies in the emotional connection, mutual respect, and sincere support that both give each other. As Marcus Aurelius said, it is crucial to be more demanding of yourself than of others. Living by Stoic values, you will become a high-value individual who will attract and keep the woman you love by your side. However, it is imperative that such a woman is also of high value. If he shows manipulative or contemptuous tendencies, it is essential to get out of that relationship immediately, as it is not beneficial to you or deserves a man of high value. Number 2, leave time for yourself. Time management is one of the most crucial skills in an individual's life. Spending an inordinate amount of time on the needs of others can be compared to pouring the most precious liquid into a bottomless pit, where every drop represents an irretrievable moment of existence. Time, that invaluable asset, should not be treated as a bargaining chip, but as a treasure to be kept and valued. The endless demands of others can be overwhelming, but as the philosopher Seneca pointed out, it is not that we have little time, but that we lose a lot. By giving up our time to others, we are giving up the most vibrant and meaningful moments of our lives. It is imperative to claim ownership of our time, as it belongs exclusively to us and not to others. We must not allow the shadows of other people's demands to obscure the light of our existence. Instead, we must seek a balance, investing our time in activities that ignite our passion, foster our personal growth, and bring us deep satisfaction. Let us remember that we have authority over our time and how we spend it, and we should not waste it on those who do not understand its true value. Just as Plato suggested that we should seek truth in our lives, we should also seek truth in how we spend our time. We should ask ourselves whether our daily actions reflect our deepest priorities and whether we are living up to our most cherished values. By doing so, we can ensure that every minute counts and contributes to a full and experience-rich life. Investing time in oneself is not an act of selfishness, but of self-respect. By nurturing our own needs and aspirations, we are better equipped to help others effectively and meaningfully. Aristotle believed in the importance of the virtue of balance, and this applies to how we manage our time as well. By balancing our responsibilities with our passions, we can achieve harmony that resonates through all facets of our lives. Therefore, let us treasure our time carefully, allocating it to endeavors that not only ignite our passion, but also foster growth that is both personal and collective. In doing so, we not only improve our own lives, but we also contribute to the well-being of society as a whole. Let us always remember that time is the canvas on which we paint the masterpiece of our life, and it is our responsibility to ensure that every brushstroke is intentional and meaningful. Number 1. Don't let it affect your life or your mood. Preserving mental health and happiness is an act of wisdom and self-preservation. Giving in to the demands of others at the expense of one's inner peace is a destructive practice, comparable to setting fire to one's home to provide warmth to others, an act that is not only self-destructive, but also vain. By neglecting personal well-being for the sake of satisfying others, one surrenders control over one's life and sacrifices individual joy. Aristotle once said, "Knowing oneself is the beginning of all wisdom." The moment one is caught in this dilemma, it is crucial to stop and reflect. Emotional integrity and happiness are two valuable treasures to be exchanged or compromised. The time has come to stop being a pawn on the chessboard of someone else's life and take the lead role in the narrative itself. It is essential to stand up for peace and happiness with determination, which in turn strengthens mental resilience. No one should be allowed to usurp personal joy. As Socrates taught, the life that is not examined is not worth living. The individual is the only one who has the power to control his mind and his destiny. Self-realization and authenticity must be the cornerstones of existence. By embracing responsibility for one's own happiness, the notion that well-being depends on the actions or approval of others is rejected. It is imperative to cultivate an inner garden of peace and contentment, where decisions are made based on personal growth and not external validation. As Jean-Paul Sartre said, we are condemned to be free, implying that the freedom to choose our path comes with the responsibility to do so wisely. In the end, the search for happiness is a personal and non-transferable journey, a path that each one must trace and travel for himself, armed with the conviction that true satisfaction comes from within and not from external circumstances. Life is too short to live on someone else's terms. It's time to reclaim authority over one's narrative and live a life that reflects one's personal truths and values. Only in this way can a full and meaningful existence be achieved. Remember that you are the one who will allow how you are treated, and no one is looking for a partner we don't think we deserve. Get out of toxic relationships, strengthen your positive masculinity, and give the best of yourself, but with awareness. For more tips like this, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you'll be informed when more videos like this one are uploaded. See you next video.